National Life Group?
Correct.
All right. So you can take it on.
Thank you so much, Principal. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, come on, guys. One more time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
There you go. My name is Javier Rodriguez, as mentioned, with National Life Group. I'm excited to be here to talk to you about 7 keys to maximize your retirement. But before I get into that, I'm going to talk to you about something that's probably near and dear to your heart, which is your money. Maybe. I think so. And having said that, I want to just start by letting you know we are fully approved 403B advisors, both the district, CalSTRS, and so on and so on. But we're here primarily because of our nonprofit organization that's funded entirely by my fellow agents, if you would, and advisors. There's no corporate money involved whatsoever. It's just 100% personal money that we donate because we do believe in giving children a legitimate shot at achieving the future they deserve. And we do anything and everything from backpack giveaways, we do the sports equipment giveaways, we do the Christmas wish list, as we call it, where the principal just nominates kids going through hardships, and then we go ahead and make their Christmas wish list a reality. No problem. Here's one of my favorite ones right here, though. The Life Changer of the Month, where the principal nominates a teacher who has gone above and beyond, and we recognize that teacher with a certificate, gift card, including a brand new tablet as well. So we're scheduled to run that with you guys, I think in October or something like that. As a matter of fact, this rings true because we did this one, as a matter of fact, with you guys as well. So everywhere we go, all over the LAUSC, we present this slide commemorating our time here as well. So again, is he still here?
No.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm sorry?
He left the district.
He left the district. Okay. So on to what I'm here to talk to you about, the 7 keys to maximize your retirement. Now, please understand that I'm going to give you about a 25-minute presentation in about 6 minutes. So forgive me for flying through this. I know you have other important things to cover as well. If you have any questions, if anything I say speaks to you, you do have an appointment card that we can go ahead and make sure we give you all the information you need. Now, by a show of hands, how many teachers here would like to, or how many people here would like to retire one day? Go ahead. Would like to retire someday? Anybody? Everybody. Yeah. Now, another dumb question, and this is an important one, so please listen up. Of all of you that want to retire someday, how many people would like to retire and actually stay retired? Because that is the challenge facing teachers today. It's very common for a teacher to retire on a Friday, have a celebration, and then start the new career on Monday. Not because they got tired of being retired, but because they simply what? They can't make it. They can't make it. It's just too expensive, okay? So I'm going to show you how to prevent that from happening to you. Everything I mentioned to you here today comes directly from the CalSTRS handbook, which the new edition, the 2023, just came out. And we're going to give an opportunity to get your hands on it so you can empower yourself, educate yourself as well. Key number 1 is to know your expected pension amount. This is so important because it's impossible to properly plan for your retirement if you don't know how much you're slated to receive. Does that make sense? Most teachers don't know how much they're going to receive until they start the process for retirement. And by then, it's just simply too late. So we want to make sure that you are aware of it. And it's pretty easy. Let me show you how simple it is. Here we have Jane, who's 31 years old, wants to retire when she turns 60. Well, very simple. By then, she'll have 29 years of service. We take the H factor directly from CalSTRS, which is 2%, and then we just simply multiply. 29 years of service by 2% gives her a 58% payoff factor. One of the things that we do when we meet with you, and it's only 10 to 15 minutes max, we will go ahead and show you exactly what your expected pension amount is going to be. Most teachers have no clue. And from this moment forward, you won't be able to ever plead ignorance because we are trying to facilitate that for you. So remember this number, 58%. Now, if anybody here was hired after, especially true, if you were hired after January 1st of 2013, anybody? If that is you, you have to be very careful because you have a different payoff factor and H factor as well. And so what that means is that now, instead of you getting, let's just say 2% at 60, now you got to make it to at least 62 to receive that 2% payoff factor as well, and then it ends up being less. So it's important for everybody, but especially for those hired after January 1st of 2013. Key number 2 is to know your expected income gap. What's an income gap? Very simple. The difference between what you were used to making while working and what your pension is going to pay you. Understand, every single retiree will have a pension gap. The only question is how big. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So now we go on to back to Jane. Again, in her example, her payout factor, let's just say her highest average salary is $90,000 a year for the sake of simplicity. Her payout factor was 58%. That means she's going to go from $90,000 to $52,000 when she retires. We divide that by 12, which is your pension, which is $43.50 a month. Now, the question I have for you is, $43.50, is that enough and adequate to live off today for most people? For most, the answer is no. But how about in 20 years? It definitely won't be enough. And so as you can see, you have to know what your gap is going to be. Let me simplify this, and let me go ahead and put things in perspective for you, and I'm almost done. This represents your piece of the pie. Up here is 100% of your pay while you're working. Does that make sense? When you retire, you could be anywhere from, let's just say, 65, 52%, whatever that number might be. Let's just say you end up here. When we meet with you, we will go ahead and pull up your exact progress report. You know, CalSTRS gives you a progress report every year. Yet most teachers have never seen it. Now, I understand that those that have seen it look at it and say, man, why is this stuff written in Greek? They don't understand it. It takes special deciphering, if you would, which is what we're going to facilitate for you as well. So let's just say this is your pension. That's great because this is going to be lifetime income, 100% until you die. However, it is taxable. That's the downside. But I'd rather have a taxable pension than no pension at all. However, it does create an immense income gap that you have to fill in somehow. Now, most teachers do the whole CalSTRS, or let's just say 403B, 401k, IRA, whatever the case might be, to try to make up for that. The downside is that most teachers are putting their money in vehicles that are taxable, just like your pension, and decrease over your lifetime. So we're going to show you a concept, if you would, or what we call a strategy that most teachers have never even heard of that allows you to generate a second pension type of stream of income that's income tax free and you can never outlive, along with your pension, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you that in just 1 second. Number 3, maximize tax-free income. Why is maximizing tax-free income so important? Well, let me start with your pension. How much of your pension when you retire is taxable? 100% of it. This is, again, coming directly from the CalSTRS handbook. It shows you that it's taxed as ordinary income, which is horrible. Now, there are only 2 ways to legally generate income tax-free money, especially in retirement. Number 1 is a Roth product, which you have access to. Number 1. And the second one is Section 7702 of the IRS tax code, which you also have access to, yet most teachers and district employees don't even know these concepts exist, and it's a complete shame. Number 4 is to plan for your survivor option today. When you retire, you'll have the option of modifying your pension. In other words, do you want to receive your full pension for the rest of your life until you die? Or in the name of taking care of your spouse, would you rather receive less while you're retired, but when you die, you leave them a portion of your pension? And people ask me all the time, which of the 2 is best? Well, let me give you a short answer. If you are a female, you should give serious consideration to not leaving your spouse a thing. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that before I start getting beat up. Here, let me show you this before you start beating up on me. When you retire, you get 2 options. Take your full pension, which is what we recommend, if you have something taken care of. I'll show you right now. Or you can decide to leave your spouse 100%, 75%, or 50% of your pension. Let me put some numbers to it. Here we have an example of a person, highest income was $10,000 a month. 72% is a pension. That means they're going to get $7,200 a month. Simple math. Does that make sense? Now, the question is, do you want to leave your spouse something after you die? Most teachers say, of course, right? All right, well, here's what's going to happen. From $7,200, you have 3 choices. Do you leave them 50, 75, or 100% of your pension? Most say, well, 100%. Well, let me show you this. If you decide to leave them 50% of your pension, you will get, instead of $7,200, $6,700 a month when you retire. And then when you die, you leave them half, or $3,300. 75% or the 100%, which is what most people gravitate to. Now, instead of getting $7,200, you leave them $6,100 a month. And when you pass away, you leave them the full $6,100. Now, that's costing you over $1,000 in income a month. Now, listen to this portion right here. Let's just say that's $1,000 a month times 12. That's $12,000 a year less you received. Are you with me? 10 years later, 10 years after you gave up $120,000, your husband has the audacity to die. Okay? Now, you might say, wait a minute. I just gave up $120,000 in income for him, and he just died. Now, how much of the $120,000 will CalSTRS give back to you? Zero. None of it. This is called the Survivor's Annuity Plan, or SAP. This is between you and CalSTRS. This is what CalSTRS obtains on your behalf when you select to leave your pension. The manual, the CalSTRS handbook clearly tells you you're much better off taking 100% of your pension while you're alive and obtain what's called a permanent life insurance policy. That means it's a policy that you pay while you're working, and then when you retire, you never pay into it again, but it's paid for. And when, let's just say in the example of a spouse passes away, they leave behind $300,000, $400,000, or even $500,000 tax-free, and that way it was a win-win situation while you were alive. Does that make sense? That's something you got to give consideration because it's a very expensive proposal. Now, number 5 is to lock in life insurance while you have the money, time, and health. So what does that mean? The insurance that the district gives you is basically term. It's only good while you're still here working with the district, but the moment you retire, that stays behind. So again, it is recommended for you to consider a permanent form of life insurance that you can pay off while you're working, and then when you retire, you never pay into it again, but the life insurance death benefit is there waiting for the moment to arrive. Very powerful concepts as well. Number 6, second to last, to minimize or eliminate stock market risk and uncertainty. Now, what are we talking about? Your 403Bs in the LAUSD give you 3 options to grow your money. 3 options. Most teachers do the first one, which is the stock market. Now, what does that mean? You put money into a 403B, the balance grows based on how the stock market performs. Are you with me? Stock market goes up, your balance goes up. Stock market drops, and what goes down with it? Your money. Couple of questions. Who knows where their money will be or where the stock market will be when you need your money the most? Nobody knows. A lot of risk. How many people here know of teachers who thought they were going to retire, but ended up working a few more years trying to recover some of the money they lost because of the stock market? The second option that most teachers are familiar with is what's called the fixed account. You just basically get paid 1, maybe 2% of your money, and it grows safely, no risk. And people do that because they want the peace of mind. But here's the third strategy that's available to you that most teachers have never even heard of. It's called an index strategy, or the blue line. The blue line simply means that your money's in a fixed account, but when the market goes up, you go up with it. But when the stock market drops, it levels off. During that period, whether it's a month or a year or multiple years, you're not making any money, but most importantly, what? You're not losing any money. That's why it's so important to gravitate to this when possible. You're very fortunate because the LAUSD allows you to choose that one. Yet most teachers are either here or here with their money in the stock market casino. You don't want to go to the Wall Street casino because you're going to lose every time. And then the last one that I want to talk to you about here today is going to be number 7, leverage the power of living benefits. Most people think of life insurance, they think of death. Usually somebody has to die for a life insurance policy to pay out. Today's life insurance policies that are permanent don't require that. You literally could have $500,000 life insurance policy, come down with cancer, stroke, Lou Gehrig's disease, and so on, and advance yourself the life insurance while you're still alive to not have to liquidate your assets, no GoFundMe, no donation of sick hours, because you took care of yourself in that sense as well. It's a world of opportunity that wasn't here just 6, 7 years ago. So it would behoove you to explore your options. So without any further ado, what I'm going to do at this point is just go ahead and go to the appointment card in front of you. We're going to do 2 things. Let me tell you why you want to complete that appointment card right now. We're going to provide you with free information, a copy of the handbook for 2023 from CalSTRS. We're also going to go ahead and run your numbers to show you where you're going to be when you retire, whether it's a year away or whether it's 30 years away. It's important for you to know where you stand as of right now. Does that make sense? Because if you were to be off course on your plan for retirement, when would you want to know? Probably while there's still time or enough time to do something about it. The second reason we're going to tell you, go ahead. The second reason that's very important is because we're going to do a raffle real quick. So in the spirit of getting this through, we're going to raffle off 2 prizes. We usually do just one. First thing we're going to do is a $20 gift card to Starbucks. This is a way of saying thank you for what you do. And the second raffle prize is going to be a trip to Las Vegas. 4 days, 3 nights. All you're responsible for are 2 things: hotel taxes, which we can't give away, and transportation. up to 15, right? One gas tank will get you there back. So if you can please print clearly, we're going to be here tomorrow, the next day, and Friday. Then we're off to another school. And the last time we were here is probably 4 years ago or something like that. And I can't tell you we're going to be here anytime soon. So even 1 month is too much time to lose, let alone a few years to be able to do that. I want to thank everybody. Now, if you can go ahead and complete the appointment card, we're going to wait for everybody to be completed. We'll pick them up. We'll do the raffle, and we're out of your hair. We'll pick them up here in just 1 second. So please go ahead and do that. Thank you so much. I really do want to say thank you for all that you do. What you do matters. Don't ever forget that. And above all, on behalf of everybody here, let me just do the raffle card. Well, we'll wait for them to come in right now. Thank you.
You need one right here in the front.
Oh, we need.
Anybody else need one?
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you having us here today. And once again, thank you.